Do you want the United States to win in Iraq?
Well, you know, in the beginning, here was my position in the beginning, and I think I sort of felt the way everybody did. We felt like we wanted to do something because something terrible had been done to us. We did not understand exactly why. All we knew was something terrible, something heinous, something obscene had been done to us. So while it didn't necessarily make as much sense to go into Iraq as it did perhaps going into Afghanistan, I, like most everybody else, felt like, yes, we need to do something. We need to do something. And as the weeks turned into months and into years, and one death became a dozen deaths, and 100 deaths, and 1,000 deaths, then we began to realize, you know what, maybe we're causing more trouble over there than the whole effort has been worth.
Possible. But do you want, right now, do you want the United States to win in Iraq?
First of all, I don't...
It's an easy question. If you don't want the United States to win in Iraq...
It's not easy for me because I'm thoughtful. How about that? That was a good one.
That was great, Dave. You get paid for those.
No, but what I would like would be for Americans to stop dying and for there to be stability in that part of the world. Now, if that means an American victory, okay. But I'm not sure that you can have stability in that part of the world with or without an American presence now. So I would do whatever it takes to stop Americans dying.
Do you think that before the Iraq invasion started, there was stability in that part of the world? Do you believe that?
Well, let me ask you a question. Was there more heinous, more dangerous violence taking place then in Iraq, or is there more heinous, dangerous violence taking place now in Iraq?
It's pretty much a tie.
Well, then how can we...
Oh, stop it. Come on. Saddam Hussein slaughtered 400,000 people, all right? So knock it off. It's a situation that's fluid, but here's the deal. You can object to the policy in Iraq.
That wasn't the reason we went over there.
No,
we went over there because there was weapons of mass destruction. It turned out there were no weapons of mass destruction. Right. And now, what everybody is saying, what about Kim Jong-il? Not only are we guessing that he has weapons of mass destruction, he's saying, hey, look at me. We're setting another one off. Come on over.
Yeah, I don't think that's a guess, Dave. I think when he sets it off, we got a clue.
Well, then why don't we go there? Because he actually has weapons of mass destruction.
Why don't we go there and do what? What do you want to do? You want to drop an atomic bomb on it?
What were we supposed to do going into Iraq then?
What we were supposed to do is that the United States government believed that Saddam had a WMDs, okay? And they were wrong. People make mistakes in war. Now, Tony Blair was wrong, Colin Powell was wrong, all these people were wrong.
So that means we've made a mistake in war, so we stay there and kill as many Americans as we possibly can. That's the way you get out of a mistake.
No. What you do is you try to maximize...
And do you honestly believe, irrespective... I don't care. Irrespective of what the... Oh, sure, help yourself.
Thank you. We're really friends. This is all an act. We're buddies, we bowl.
But irrespective of what the United States... Let's say, to your way of thinking, the United States prevails militarily in Iraq.
Right.
How long do you think stability in that part of the world will last?
It's impossible to say, but...
Well, then would it have been worth it?
Listen, I don't want to...
If it's stable... For the next 1,000 years, then George Bush is a genius. Is that going to happen? Is it going to be stable for another 1,000 years?
How do I know? Am I Karnak here or what?
What's your best guess?
What I'm trying to tell you is...
What is your best guess?
I don't know. What I'm trying to tell you is this is geopolitics in the world we live in is incredibly complicated. The reason to go into Iraq was WMDs with a mad dictator, okay? That was the reason. It was wrong. If we could go back in a time machine, we wouldn't do it.
But how does staying there killing more and more Americans make it right? How do you make a right decision out of a wrong decision?
If you get out of...
It looks to me like the country is going to fall apart anyway, regardless of what people do. Do you think stability will prevail over there?
Dave, if you get out of Iraq and leave it in chaos, Iran comes in, takes over, all right? And then we basically have a 10 times worse situation because the oil flow then goes under the jihadists in Iran. You want to debate geopolitics with me? Do you really?
It's all about oil. You just answered the question.
Absolutely, it's all about oil. The whole world is about oil.
Right. It's all about oil. That's why we're there. Big deal.
Your show's not going to be on
left and right.
All right, look. You actually think that we're a bad country for doing what we did, and Bush is an evil man? Is that what you're putting forth here?
I don't know that I think that he's evil. I think he's misguided. I think that in the beginning, like I said, we needed to do something. People wanted to feel like we were doing something. People wanted to feel like the attack was going to be accounted for. Well, to my way of thinking, the attack really hasn't been accounted for. And beyond that...
It hasn't been accounted for in the sense that we made... Look, everybody says
beyond that, terrorism now is a far more... It's white hot. Where previous to the disruption in Iraq, it was a fact of life. It was a gruesome fact of life. But now it's become a damn intramural sport.
Hold it. I think it was pretty white hot on 9/11 when 3,000 people were slaughtered in the streets of the city. So why, what you're doing is you're making a mistake of oversimplifying a very complicated situation.
Oh, I'm oversimplifying
Yes, you are. We made a mistake on WMDs. That is true.
All right, solve the mistake. Correct the mistake.
The mistake
How do you correct the mistake?
Be corrected. But what can happen is, and I'm praying it is happening, is that we stabilize that situation over there so that it becomes a functioning democracy. It might not happen, but the intent was noble, to make it a democracy, to make Afghanistan a democracy, to put pressure on the Iranians who are causing all kinds of trouble.
But why didn't we stay in Afghanistan? Why didn't we stay in Afghanistan? It seemed to me that Afghanistan was more directly the source. I mean, there's been no tie proven between Saddam Hussein and Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, anything.
You know what Ansar al-Islam is? Do you know what that is? You don't. All right, and I'm not saying this in a condescending way. I'm really not. Okay? I'm not going to call you a bonehead or a pinhead. Right. Ansar al-Islam was the al-Qaeda affiliate in northern Iraq that tried to poison the British water supply with ricin. They operated with Saddam Hussein's okay. Again, complicated, but it isn't so black and white, Dave. It isn't we're a bad country, Bush is an evil liar.
I didn't say we were a bad country. I didn't say he was an evil liar.
Good.
You're putting words in my mouth. Just the way you put artificial facts in your head.
All right.